press the blinky. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is nice. Wow. This is like a childhood dream of mine. Okay, that is pretty sick. Big fighting mechs. They've always been popular, from Gundam Wing back in the 90s where I first discovered they were a thing, Armored Core from the late 90s through the 2000s, even as recent as the amazing Titanfall 2 that did not get the recognition it deserved on release, but it is now finally, and many, many more. I've always been jealous of those pilots. When would I get to pilot a big mech robot? And then I finally could in video games, but then I asked the question, when do I get to pilot a mech in VR? Well, now. The answer is now, with the seated only, as it should be, VR, multiplayer, and soon to be single and co-op player mech shooter Iron Rebellion. Eyes on VR has a Discord and an Instagram. Come and say hi, chat about VR and stuff. Welcome members of the ever-growing VR Horde, my name is Rex, this is Eyes on VR, and today we have another edition for the In Development series on the channel, which is always exciting. Iron Rebellion will be available on PC VR in early access, and coming to the Oculus Quest systems as well. From what I hear, it will be on App Lab, and the devs are in the process already for that, so it should be available very, very soon. Now, as of recording this video, you can download the demo of Iron Rebellion on Steam, and wishlist the early access version. I will be showing you the demo, but mainly focusing on the early access version of Iron Rebellion so you know what's coming. Use the timestamps in the descriptions to get to where you want to go. Now, the early access version of Iron Rebellion will be the second iteration of the game. The devs at Black Beach Studio got to a great point with the original iteration, which is the demo. And with the demo, you can choose from 3 types of mech, light, normal, and heavy, different weapons for each arm like rockets, lasers, and cannons. The demo is single player only though, and you're just facing waves of enemy AI mechs. But the exciting part is the devs spent a year redoing the whole thing to improve the code, gameplay, and so much more. So everything that you've seen in the demo, you can expect to see in the early access version as time goes on. Right now, what you are seeing is the state of the soon-to-be released early access version. The game is very much improved, and it's got multiplayer. One of the best bits in itself is the cockpit. First off, the visuals are beautiful, but the cockpit is a marvel in itself because everything's interactable. You can press all the buttons and they all do things, or will do things. For example, pressing these will change your weapons. I don't know what these do. This is to activate your mic, and this is to mute other players when you're in multiplayer. Also, if you're familiar with mechs or that kind of crazy looking cockpit from action movies and anime and things, you'll understand how this happened. You know what's great is it's like you're really learning it. I'm pressing everything to figure out what it does. Oh, that is, see, because I've watched like an anime and stuff about this, I know that is something. That flipped. That's great. And if you did want to know, that's the self-destruct button, but right now it only works when there's 2 players or more in a match. And this right here is perhaps the best flip switch in the whole cockpit. You can adjust the arms in the cockpit to match the height of your chair arms in real life. And I'll tell you now, once you've lined up your joystick arms with your chair in real life, it's the most comfortable, action-packed VR experience I have ever had, and you are going to want to have those joystick armrests lined up, as using your joysticks is how you turn your mech. You don't use the joystick on your controller for that, which I know sounds a bit weird, but trust me, you get used to it really fast, so don't fret. People on the Iron Rebellion Discord are upping their immersion even further as well by creating controller holder joystick adapters. But do note, if you want to make one of these, it needs to pivot at the elbow, not be locked in place. And now you've seen where you'll be doing the blasting from, let's talk about blasting. Right now in the early access state, there's only 1 mech to choose from, which is the normal or medium mech from the demo version, and there's 1 weapon to choose from, but more will come in the future, of course. The weapon you have already is basically a cannon, and it is oh so satisfying to shoot. Top tip, if you're using a Quest 2 controller, move your joysticks down to reload the cannons because there is not a button for it, which makes sense because it would be a pain. And in the version I played, there was no tutorial, but this is just something to know because I spent a while trying to figure out how to reload my cannons. And knowing all about the mech is one thing, but I'm sure you want to know what you can do with this mech in the early access version. The answer is mess around by yourself in the practice room or jump into some mech fighting crazy multiplayer fun. You can play a Rocket League kind of mech ball where you shoot at the ball made of scrap metal to try and score goals. You can play 1v1 mode against each other, protecting your power cores. You can play Floor is Lava and Death Zone, which is just mad crazy mech fighting fun. There's plenty to do, and if you're doing it in a mech with a fully interactable cockpit, then all the better if you ask me. And that startup sequence just does not get old. Here we go. Boop, boop, boop. I'm never gonna get tired of that. I'll put a link to the Steam page for Iron Rebellion in the description of the video so that you can go and see what's available at the time of watching the video. Whether it's the first iteration's demo or the second iteration is out in early access and you can get a hold of it and play till your heart's content. I'll also link the Iron Rebellion Discord where you can go and keep up to date with the project and check out the roadmap as well and find other people to play with. I'm really looking forward to seeing more from this awesome mech VR game, and I'll be playing the multiplayer a lot while I wait for that co-op and single player campaign. In the build I did get a little preview, even if it was just a menu screen, but look at this, there's aliens. Can you imagine jumping, blasting, jetpacking around in a mech while blasting these aliens in the face? Oh man, I cannot wait. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing for more reviews, comparisons, and honesty as well. If I play a game and it is bad, I will tell you so you can save your hard-earned money or hold off until something's on sale. My name is Rex, this is Eyes on VR, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week!